First Charles Schwab Cup playoff event on the PGA Tour champions. Bernhard Langer came to the final hole, trailing by 1. This for Eagle in the win, and he gets it. He wins the Dominion Energy Charity Classic, taking the first playoff event and solidifying himself as the man to beat in the Charles Schwab Cup playoffs. That in Richmond. Meanwhile, in South Korea, another victory for the reigning PGA Tour Player of the Year. Justin Thomas outdueled Mark Leishman, winning on the second hole of sudden death at the CJ Cup at 9 Bridges. And with the win, Thomas moves to a career-high number 3 in the official world golf ranking. Meanwhile, in Spain, Sergio Garcia gives fans in his home country plenty to cheer about. Garcia takes the Andalusia Valderrama Masters. It's Garcia's 6th win in Spain and first since taking the Masters at Augusta. Big names step up in big moments, and we have it all for you here on Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
And we welcome you into Golf Central. And Bernhard Langer wins in dramatic fashion in Richmond, Virginia. And you take a look at the current updated Charles Schwab Cup standings, and it is Langer with a hefty lead now over Scott McCarron, who is in second place. Only 2 events remain on the PGA Tour Champions schedule. Hi there, thanks for taking up with us here on Golf Central. Todd Lewis proud to be sitting beside a 5-time winner on the PGA Tour in Jim Gallagher Jr. and Bernhard Langer. 60 years old and still just as tough, if not tougher than he was when he was winning 2 Masters titles and number 1 in the world.
Well, we kept trying to make a case of how he wasn't going to win this week and continue to do what he's doing. And you know what? It's like watching Tom Brady and the Patriots. You know it's going to happen. You get that gut feeling it's going to happen at the end, but you can't believe your eyes that it really did happen. And this is that putt at 18. What a putt. What a read. What a reaction.
I tell you what, if Tom Brady is throwing touchdowns at the age of 60, I'm going to be impressed. But Bernhard Langer again for Eagle on the final hole, trailing by 1 to win this tournament in Richmond. And that is thrilling, great golf. One more time, Langer again taking the first Charles Schwab Cup playoff event.
I think it's more the case that he didn't have his best stuff and he just kept fighting and fighting. And you got that feeling when he hit the pretty good shot in there at 17 and he hit the shot at 18, you just knew he was going to make it.
Yeah, it was a tough sliding 20-footer on the final hole. Let's show you how the drama built up for the day in the final round. We go to Richmond, and here's Langer on the first hole, the par 4. Remember, he started the day with the lead.
Well, the putter, as he said in his interview, wasn't working, but it was working well early. He was off to a pretty good start. Everything was calm. Everything was in sync.
Playing partner, Vijay Singh. 7th hole, the par 5. Watch this. Well, don't actually kind of look away.
Yeah, this will blind you. And this is where it went straight downhill for Vijay with that little miss there, a 3-putt at the par 4. And he just never quite got it back.
Meanwhile, Scott Verplank, he trails by 1 on the 13th, the par 4. This is second.
Yeah, it's been almost 10 years since he's won on the PGA Tour, trying to get back in the winner's circle here on the PGA Tour Champions. And he uses the slope nicely. Really good shot in there.
Would birdie there, and suddenly he's tied for the lead at 14 under. Langer, here he is on 13.
Yeah, he had some wayward shots, but here at the 13th from 132 yards coming out of that rough. It's kind of the highlight of that motion right there. Things were going a little bit sideways. He was just trying to kind of get back on trail, and he does there with a nice shot, about 9 feet.
Meanwhile, Vijay on the same hole. This is his second out of the mulch.
Yeah, his miss was mostly left today, and this is left as well, and it just came out hot. Just hard to predict what it's going to do, and just no chance. Almost blades it out of there.
Yeah, he would bogey there and get to 11 under, fall to 11 under. Back to Langer. This is birdie putt on 13.
Yeah, a little quick with the backstroke, but he makes it anyway.
And suddenly he's got the solo lead at 15 under. But on the 14th hole, the par 3, after a bad tee shot, this for par.
That was more of a punch stroke. The other one was a little smoother as he came through.
And suddenly he's back at 14 under, tied for the lead again. Meanwhile, Verplank, the co-leader on 16, the par 5.
Yeah, we couldn't quite get there in 2, but what a pitch shot here. Holds it nicely there.
And Scott Verplank now, after making that with the solo lead. Langer on the 15th hole, the short par 4 for birdie.
More of a misread there than anything. Didn't quite get it out there far enough to the left, and the putter's just kind of letting him down at this point.
Went back 3 to play. Now back to Verplank on 18, the par 5. This slider for birdie.
Yeah, hadn't won in 10 years. Look at that short backstroke. It just opens the putter face. I don't know if that's the case of the nerves, just maybe wanting it too much.
However, he is in the clubhouse at 15 under with the lead. Meanwhile, Langer trailing by 1 on 16, the par 5.
Yeah, just trying to get it up and down, a little bump and run. This came up a little bit short, but he's got one of those testers that you just don't want to have this late in the day.
That was his 4th shot. He missed the green in regulation. He would make that par. Now he comes to 17, the par 3 birdie to tie the lead.
Yeah, did a really good hybrid in here, and you've got to hit this putt going up the hill a little bit slower, but man.
So he comes to 18 now, trailing Verplank by 1. This is a par 5, the easiest hole in the golf course. This is his 2nd shot from the fairway.
Yeah, just trying to hit a little bitty cut 3 wood. Look at that finish. If he hits that really solid, it's too much club, but we're talking about a clutch shot here. Look at this. Oh.
So he's giving himself a shot to win the tournament. Although this is a difficult putt. Downhill, a little left to right.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players misread this. He's got it out there almost 2-3 cups out. Big breaker. Wow.
That's how you do it. You throw the hat down, you make an eagle on the final hole of the tournament, and you win the Dominion Energy Charity Classic, his 35th PGA Tour Champions victory. He is 10 behind the all-time leader, that being Hale Irwin. And you look at that leaderboard, Langer, again, didn't have his greatest stuff, but you know what? Sometimes, well, a lot of times, his B game is better than a lot of players' A game. Shoots at 2 under 70 with that dramatic eagle on the final hole to defeat Scott Verplank by 1. Billy Mayfair, a nice day, a 65 for him, and Kenny Perry to move up into a tie for 3rd with Vijay Singh. And you take a look at the most PGA Tour Champions wins, as I mentioned, Bernhard Langer, 35, all coming since the beginning of 2007. He also has 10 senior major titles. And Bernhard Langer really making a name for himself since turning 50. I mean, he was a great player prior to turning 50. Now, some could argue he's a greater player since turning 50. What say you?
I think his golf swing is great, but his patience level was phenomenal. We always know that about him. And I think back at the 8th hole, he hit an iron shot, came up a little bit short, made bogey there, and you could see things kind of go. He hit the both-way misses. Missed it right and left. Putter let him down. But, you know, once again, what great players do, they finish it off, and that's with the way he played the 17. Even though he left the putt short at 17, the way he played those last 3 shots at 18, phenomenal. And that's what I think I'm most impressed with. It's just he comes there, he has to hit a good drive here. He knows he has to make birdie. He's got it up on the right side of the tee, going to hit a little bitty cut shot, kind of a little low burner down here. Now he's got it in perfect position. And that's what job number 1 is done. Job number 2, 245. Always hard for me, or I thought, to hit an easy 3-wood. Trying to hit a cut shot in here, and this is phenomenal, folks, right here. Just lands nice, softly, rolls up towards the hole. Couldn't drill it up any better than that.
And we've talked about this week, too, as we look at this winning putt here. His mental focus, I feel like it's fully exhibited right here when he needs it.
Yeah.
No one, in my opinion, maybe in all of golf, is more focused than he is right now. And he needs that eagle to win, and he gets it.
Well, final round stroke average, 67.89 coming in there. You expected that today. When you looked at the leaderboard, he and Singh and Joe Durant did birdie the last hole. Most of the numbers were 5, 6, 7 under par. He didn't have his best, but it was just enough to do it. When he had to get it done, he got it done. And we weren't sure what was going to happen at that point because he had the both-way misses. And, you know, he didn't play that good the week before, but he knows in the back of his mind he's better than everybody, and he knows that, and that's the key.
It's amazing that confidence is the most precious commodity when you're playing golf. And at the age of 60,
it's phenomenal.
He has the most as he chases his 5th Charles Schwab Cup. There was also a tournament within this tournament, and that is players trying to advance to the next Charles Schwab Cup playoff event in Thousand Oaks, California. And how about Fran Quinn? He began the week 59th on the Charles Schwab Cup points list, top 54 in the standings after the Dominion Energy Charity Classic advanced to the next playoff event. He closed Sunday with a bogey-free round of 66, as you can tell, including that eagle, just like Langer, on the final hole. And that puts him inside the top 54 to advance. And here are the players. For some, it's a good day, like Fran Quinn and David McKenzie. For others, well, Former Masters champion Larry Mize and other major champion in Mark Brooks, they will not advance to the next Charles Schwab Cup playoff event. Coming up, we travel to Asia and show you how Justin Thomas was able to find just enough gas in the tank to win again on the PGA Tour. Is he fast-tracking to #1 in the world? Plus, Sergio Garcia carrying the weight of his country on his shoulders around Valderrama. We'll show you how he responded looking to win in Spain once again.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the CJ Cup at 9 Bridges. Bushnell Golf and the Pro X2 with enhanced slope switch technology.